All right, welcome back everyone to the deep dive. We love to break down these crucial concepts that really make or break a company, and today we're diving deep into one that's super fundamental for anyone building, well, anything.
Yeah, we're talking founder product market fit. You hear this phrase thrown around all the time, but we really wanted to
Cut through the noise.
exactly cut through the noise and figure out, what it really means, why it matters, and how you can actually apply it. So,
So think of it this way. Um, it's almost like a three-legged stool, right? You've got the founder, the product they're building, and the market that they're targeting. And like any stool, if one of those legs is wobbly or, completely missing, the whole thing's going to fall apart.
and the goal of today's deep dive is to give you a solid understanding of how to make sure each of those legs, the founder, product, and market, is strong and in sync.
Okay, so let's get right into it. And I think a good way to illustrate this is to look at some real-world examples, see how this fit plays out in practice. So imagine Sarah, a freelance graphic designer,
Right.
right? She's constantly juggling projects, deadlines are always looming, client feedback is all over the place, emails, texts, you name it.
I mean, she's living the dream, right?
Oh yeah, living the freelance dream. But seriously, she's facing a very real problem that a lot of freelancers deal with. Disorganization kills productivity, right? So what does she do? She builds a product to solve that problem, not just for herself, but for all the other Sarahs out there. A simple, intuitive project management tool specifically designed for freelancers.
Yeah, and this wasn't some complex software with a million features. It focused on the essentials. Visual task management, easy client communication, all the things that were causing her the most headaches.
And here's the key. Her target market, freelancers, were already out there in huge numbers, all struggling with the same issues. So she wasn't trying to convince people they had a problem, they already knew it. And when they saw her solution, it was like, boo, instant connection.
Right, the product spoke directly to their needs. So she had that strong founder product fit. Her passion and experience fueled the product. But it was the perfect alignment with a large and desperate market that really made things take off.
Word of mouth and the freelance community was all it took. It just exploded. And that's a classic example of founder product market fit done right.
It's a beautiful thing to see when it all comes together like that.
Let's flip the script a bit, shall we? Let's talk about Alex, a total tech enthusiast who also happened to be obsessed with, get this, vintage synthesizers.
Okay, niche much.
Totally. So Alex poured his heart and soul into building this an incredibly detailed social network for vintage synth collectors. We're talking forums, marketplaces where you can buy and sell these rare synths, even live streaming capabilities so people could show off their sweet, sweet sounds.
You can really see the passion pouring out of this product.
Absolutely. High founder product fit, no doubt. But here's the rub. The market for vintage synthesizer enthusiasts, while dedicated, was pretty small and spread out all over the place.
Not to mention, a lot of these enthusiasts were already connected through various online forums and groups. So while Alex's platform was amazing in its own right, it was trying to tap into a market that was, well, already pretty well served and kind of limited in its size.
Exactly. So in this case, while the product was awesome, it struggled to gain traction because the market fit just wasn't there. It's a good reminder that even with a fantastic product built with real passion, you need to make sure there's a substantial market out there that's hungry for what you're offering.
A valuable lesson for sure. Now let's look at one more example, shall we? This time we have David, a data scientist who decided to build a business intelligence tool aimed at, helping businesses make better decisions with their data.
Seems like a pretty solid move, right?
Yeah.
Big data is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, on paper it was a great idea, but what David initially built was this extremely complex tool, and he was initially targeting these large established enterprises. But here's the thing. Big corporations are often slow moving, right? And they already have their own systems.